What's up, everybody? My name is Dominique Columbus, and welcome to Dom's Perspective. What's up, everybody? What I want to talk to y'all today about is intuition. You know, intuition is the one feeling that we have to learn how to master and memorize. We are completely aware of when our other feelings come into our lives. So we know how to feel angry, we know how it feels to feel sad, and we know how it feels to feel happy. When those feelings enter our lives, we're able to identify what it is we are feeling, so therefore we know how to cope with the process better. Now when it comes to intuition, it's the exact same way. It comes in a feeling, and most of the time you will feel your intuition in your gut. Why? On a scientific level, one thing that I found out is that your stomach actually has more neurons than your brain does. So there's a reason why we tend to feel things a lot quicker, a lot faster in our gut before we start thinking and analyzing it. So now, for another example, we've all had that moment of walking outside of our door, and right before we lock it, right before we continue on with our day, we stop for a second, and we go, wait, I feel like I'm forgetting something. You feel that weird feeling in your gut, right? But a lot of times, we don't listen to that feeling because we start thinking too much. And we'll be like, nah, I think I got everything. 2 or 3 hours goes by, it hits you. You go, oh, dang, I knew I forgot that thing. You should have listened to that feeling. If you listen to Steven Spielberg, if you listen to Oprah Winfrey and every other great influencer in our past, they will all tell you that the way intuition works, it comes in the form of a whisper. It's more of a tap. You know, it will never come right in front of you. And as you continue to grow, as you continue to get more in tune as a human being, you want to get more familiar of what that feeling feels like. So whenever your intuition enters into your life, you know what that feeling is. So therefore, you can always make the right moves and the right decisions. For another example, this past week, I got brought out to Palm Springs to do a motivational speech for a foundation created by Mia St. John. Mia St. John was a female professional boxer, and she was a 5-time world champion. You know, a few years ago, she lost her son. And when her son passed away, you know, she was at a point in her life where she said she felt like giving up. But then once she started getting better and once she started understanding things a little bit better, she said, well, instead of giving my life away, I might as well give my life to people. So she created this foundation. And what she does is she brings in homeless people off the streets who need a shelter or just need some place to go. And, you know, she teaches them how to box. There's yoga classes. There are all sorts of programs for them to get into in order to get back on their feet again. So now, when she brought me out to do a motivational speech for them, honestly, I didn't know what to expect. And the first thing that I said to myself is, you know, before I start talking about anything, when I walk into the room, I need to fill it out. I need to be able to find a way how to connect with these people organically versus just start talking about things. So when I first got there, I noticed that the group of people were all older than me. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, what can I tell these people that they haven't already experienced yet or that they haven't already seen already? They're all older than me. So what I did was this. When I went up and before I started talking to them, what I did is I went around the room and I asked every single person specifically, I said, what do you love to do? Tell me your name and what do you love to do? Each person, one by one, started telling me what they love to do, what they're interested in, all these different things. And by the time I got to the last person, something hit me in my intuition. That feeling, I felt it in my gut. Something told me to talk to them about purpose, because every single person in the room had something that they love to do. And that's what purpose is following what you love to do. So right after figuring out what they want to do and realizing that they all have purpose, I listened to my intuition and I found an organic way to connect with them all. When it comes to connecting with people, trust that gut feeling. Know that feeling. As you continue to grow in your life, you're going to understand and process that feeling more and more when it comes into your life. Start testing it out when it comes to the little things, like when you walk outside your house. If you feel that feeling, listen to it. Just go back inside and sit down. Even if you can't think about anything, just listen to it for a second, and I guarantee you a couple seconds later, you're going to figure out what it is. Get more familiar with that. Now, if you're somebody that's trying to find a way how to connect with their intuition more, one thing that I learned from past experience was that when I got to a place where I was isolated, when I was by myself, when I was away from distractions and other people, I was able to connect with my inner voice. Your intuition is your inner voice. Remember, we are spiritual beings living in a physical experience. So that intuition, that thing that always guides you, comes from a place higher than us. And it's always accessible. You can always connect to that whenever you want. But one of the best ways of connecting to that intuition is when you're by yourself, when you get to learn what your voice really is. And once you tap into that, once you are able to identify what your voice is and tap into your intuition, you can now take that energy and learn how to apply it in other forms. So whenever you're moving through life, whenever that feeling arises, you recognize it right away. You know what decision to make instead of thinking about it a lot. So after I got done doing my motivational speech, I actually had the pleasure of sitting down with Mia St. John's daughter. We had an amazing power talk about intuition. There's something that she said to me that really stuck out. She said, when it comes to intuition, most of the time, it's us against the world. She pointed to her stomach and then she pointed to her head. Because us, this intuition, this can never be changed. This can never be diverted and this can never be altered. Our mind, as we continue to grow up, we have to do a lot of deprogramming, because in the process of growing up, we start to realize that the things we learn aren't really the best things for us. We start to really see what life really is. So now when it comes to your intuition, it can never be changed. That is you. When you enter this earth, when you enter this universe, that intuition is the purest form of yourself, and you can never lose that. The only way that you don't connect with your intuition is if you are not in tune. Being in tune plays a big role in connecting with your intuition. So when it comes to your intuition, a way to become more in tune with that is making sure that your mind, body, and spirit are in complete alignment. When you are in complete alignment, the whispers will become louder. That feeling will become more noticeable. And that feeling you get in your stomach, you will begin to understand that when it appears more and more. So whenever your intuition kicks in, whenever you feel that feeling, you'll be able to react and make the right decisions right away. Every bad decision that I've made in my life has been simply because I did not listen to my intuition. So other than that, I wanted to talk to y'all today about intuition because I simply want you all to get more familiar with what that feeling is. So out of everything in this entire message, I hope you all are able to take one thing from this, and that's being able to be more familiar of what your intuition really is. Remember, your intuition is a gut feeling. You feel that feeling down here more than anything. Listen to that whenever it comes to your life. Don't question it. When we question it, we make bad decisions. Every bad decision that I've made in the past has simply been because I did not listen to my intuition. So other than that, y'all, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's episode. Make sure you follow me on the gram at DomsPerspective. And other than that, stay tuned. I'll see y'all later.
It's that real shit.